Why We Broke Up, a novel by Daniel Handler. I've been wanting to read this book for a really long time, basically since I first heard about it, which is about a year and a bit ago. Partly because I'm quite a big fan of Daniel Handler. If anyone didn't know, he's the person who wrote the Lemony Snicket books, and I was a really big fan of those as a child. I remember I read with 13 and absolutely loved them, and I'm really keen. I really like the film, and I'm really happy that it's making it into like a Netflix series, and I'm really excited about that. I was a big fan, and so I was intrigued to read something he'd done for a more adult audience, and so I was quite excited to pick this up. I also liked this because I really liked the premise of it. Basically, if anyone doesn't know, it's about a girl who's returning a box of items that symbolise moments of their relationship to the boy that she just broke up with. So it kind of, I don't want to say chapters because it's not literally split into chapters, but each chapter is based around one item that's in the box that shows a symbol of their relationship, and it's done in chronological order, but from the beginning you know the relationship's doomed. But I just thought that was quite an interesting way to do a breakup. From experience I've had from observing, and not first-hand experience, heartbreak seems to be something that everyone can sort of identify with, but they're also very unique to the individual person and individual couples, and so I thought this was quite a clever idea because everybody can kind of identify with the idea of having, sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my words today, can identify with the idea of having like little mementos from their relationship, and things that probably people collect, quite sentimental things like cinema tickets and stuff. So, and each one of those kind of tells a story on the stage of their relationship, and so it's quite interesting because she keeps things like their first date ticket, like caps from cider bottles from the first party they met at, just little bits and pieces, and then each one leads to a story that kind of forms their whole relationship. These items really could be used to show the whole relationship completely, and now she's returning it to him as if she's kind of giving back the relationship to him. She doesn't want to be involved anymore because her heartbreak is too much and things like that. So I really liked the premise of this, and the book didn't disappoint. I thought it was really cleverly written, for quite sort of almost for quite a mundane story. I'd say it was really cleverly done and really interestingly done, and I wanted to keep reading the whole way through. But I think the main selling point of this book is how stunning it is. Both the writing and some of the phrases he uses is absolutely stunning. Just the way he describes things and the language, and I just, it's so beautiful. And then the illustrations by Maria Kalman, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's actually just this art bio, which I almost think is appropriate, because even just the cover and like just the outside of the book itself is just beautiful. I don't know if the camera's focusing on this, I hope it is. But the pictures in this book are just like each chapter, let's see if I can find like a sort of, so each chapter, instead of having a chapter name, it's done like that, and you see the items. This one's a truck, was part of the relationship thing, and then it's just drawn, and it's so beautiful, and just like just things like this, and just I've actually started annotating my books recently on lines that I think are really stunning, and stuff like that, and I would have had a lot of lines to annotate in this book, but I didn't want to write on the book because it almost felt like a piece of art I was holding. It was just so it's just so beautiful, some of the stuff. I love the sort of art style and the feel of it. Even the pages, they just feel so, they feel different. I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't feel and smell like a normal book. It feels so personal, the whole book, the way it's been done, and I really liked that about it, and it was definitely the big selling point for me. And I feel like reading the book was actually a whole experience. It was just, it was stunning. It was kind of like going to an art gallery for me, and I think that's actually a really good analogy because I could really appreciate the beauty of what was surrounding me, but I couldn't identify with any of it. I am quite a strange person in the sense that at 19 years old I have never been in a relationship of any kind. I have never been in love, and I've never had my heart broken. Therefore I couldn't really identify with any of the themes in this story. I obviously know they all exist, and I'm aware of them, and I've observed people go through all three things, but I've never personally experienced any of it. But just for the beauty alone, and I would like to read this again, I think, when I go through a breakup or a heartbreak, as I inevitably will, and I feel like it will mean so much more to me on a personal level then. But just at the moment, it's just like a piece of art that I felt really privileged to observe. It felt like such a personal capture into this person's life, even though they were fictional. She felt really real, and I don't know, as everyone felt really real and vibrant, I could forgive some of the stupid mistakes I felt like they were making, or the character changes they had that I didn't like as personally as people, but I could forgive them for it because it was just so beautiful and so personal, and it almost felt like I was reading the letters, like someone's real letters that she'd written to someone with illustrations on them. It was such a stunning experience. That's the best way I can describe this book. I don't know if I've done a very good job there, but I would give this book a 9 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel like I didn't give it the full 10 because of the inability to identify, but that is my problem and not the book's, and so maybe it does deserve the 10, but I'm only going to give it a 9 out of 10. But it's just beautiful, and I would recommend this to anybody, especially if you've ever actually been through a breakup or a heartbreak, because I feel like you'll be able to identify with it a lot more than I did, because even though it was so unique, such a unique situation for the couple, it felt like a sort of formula that everybody could identify with. I don't know if that's true or not, but it really is just a stunning piece of work.